Well, hello friends of the Northern Entertainment. Good evening. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Hans and Ray. Is that Hans and Ray? Maybe. Otherwise, Hans and Ray. I don't know. But thank you, and K-Boy, thank you as well. You guys are too kind. Yes, Nick, it is working today. Woo! Hello, Simon. Before I forget that now. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to quickly do something before I forget. Now, the reason that I didn't send you that was because there were some problems with the codes. There was a back and forth, Simon. So, but we got that. We got that now, hopefully figured out. I'm just sending you that right now, and you let me know if it works. Because if it doesn't, well, then I need to get back to them. Actually, DM me if you can, because there's so... Oh, here you are. Here you are. Blip. I sure hope that's the right Simon, otherwise I just wasted a perfectly good key. December 28, 2023 was the last message. Oh, please tell me that was the right one. Anyway. So, I did some... I did some testing with this little guy here, with the... well, read it for yourself, what it is. Easy to read. I really don't have to translate that for you guys, because that would just be silly and very condescending. But I did do some testing, and I know now how this works. You need this double hitch for these cedars. So you hook up the hitch to the tractor. By the way, this tractor is way too small for this setup, but just for the sake of the argument, you hook up this hitch to the tractor as... Well, actually, before I can do that, I have to get the other cedar, because once that thing is all hooked up, it's actually quite sizable. And one might think that I tried to get this cedar through this very tight opening, which would of course be totally silly. Why would I do that, right? That is really not how that was supposed to go. And now it's gonna fall on that poor lady. Oh well. We all have to die at some point, right? Nick, how are you doing? King's Mods. There are only a few modding web pages. Why don't you download it directly from the server, Brad? That's probably the easiest. So setting this up is really, well, it can be rather difficult, to be honest with you, because you have to get everything lined up just right. Should be pinned. It's still the same server link. Farming multiplayer, pinned messages. Placeholder for link. Wow, Alex, you are... Wow. Yeah. About that. I mean, you know. You know. You know. What can I say? Nothing, that's right. So silly. You guys can't see this right now, but I made a message placeholder for link. Yeah. There. Now it's in pinned messages, as it was supposed to be from the beginning. But, you know. You know. I mean. Okay. Now. So, once you get this set up as seen here, then comes the really interesting part, because now you have to figure out how to get this pushed all the way back to that second one without completely messing up. So yeah, it's not the easy... It's not the easiest of all seeders to use. But then again, everybody can do easy. Server is acting up a little bit tonight, but nothing new here. So we're gonna hook that up. And then hopefully, at that point, we can just do this. See, this is where it becomes really interesting. I mean, the idea is absolutely brilliant, because you get actually 7 meters of cedar width, but it's super compact as you use it, see? And this is how this thing is supposed to be used when you run it. Like, this is the whole setup. You have a full 7 meters, 2 times 3.5, sorry, 7.2 meters, because you have 3.6 meters of cedar capacity. Nope, it's 7 meters, because they are a little bit overlapping. Yeah, that's right. And this whole setup here is just an additional tank. Because if you run that setup, you don't want to have to stop and fill every 2 minutes. So, it's actually quite interesting, the way that works. And I would have used a seeder from the GDR if I would have found one. That, however, did not happen. And all of these are fillable with fertilizer as well as seed. Front seed, back fertilizer. So you actually have quite a bit of capacity actually in those machines. Hello, monkey. But like I said, this little CT 323 Alpha is not going to pull that kind of setup in a quote-unquote real-life scenario. So we're just gonna unhook for now. And also, you might see this. Well, this is the good old problem that is well known ever since FS15. Well, actually, as old as Farming Simulator is, your headers, if they are too close together, will move uncontrollably, ever so slightly, until they come to a rest, and then usually your nice park job is completely messed up. That's just the way she goes. There's nothing you can do about it. Here we have our plow sitting. That is also a very special setup, because as you can see here, there is actually a well, you have the plow. So first you plow, and then as you plow, this little guy here comes right after, and so you have plowing as well as cultivating in one setup. So from that point, really, now keep in mind, this is stuff from the 70s. They were quite innovative in East Germany when it came to agriculture. You gotta give credit where credit is due, and that is definitely... Is that ready to go? Oh, it's grown. Hopefully there's no children in the corn. I need to stop making that joke because it's getting old. But I can't. What can I say? Oh yeah, and when you want to run this stuff on the road, then you hook... you hook all of this together. You hook this to this, and then you hook the other seeder to the last. So you have a very long train of implements going down the road, but at the same time it's not very wide, so you can go through rather narrow streets with this. Yeah, oh, we got it all. I'm just trying to think if we need anything else. We have a plow. We have plows. We have seeders. We have all kinds of harvesters standing by. We have trucks and trailers of all kinds. Actually, where are the trailers? Good question. Yeah. Oh, farming goes good, JW. Should maybe turn this on, though. Everything old school, not only old school trucks. Old school seeders. Old school harvesters. It's all from between 1960s to the late 80s. No. It's the whole setup. Has nothing to do with cheaper. This is an East Germany map, and this is all East German equipment. Well, East German and Russian. Just trying to think if we need anything else. Let me go through the list here. So we have small tractors, we have large tractors, we don't need medium tractors. We have cultivators, plows, seeders, headers, balers, slurry tank, fertilizer, sprayer, planter, potato technology. You know what we don't have? Well, we don't need that right now either. We need... What do we need? Trailers. For the... Silage body, tipper body. Oh, there it is. Capacity 15,000, capacity 29,000. Main color. I might as well leave it like that. Yes. What I don't know yet, do we have animals? I don't think we do. No, we don't. Okay. Well, that's actually good, because we are not set up yet for it. Could have sworn I heard a tractor. Ah! Yes. I like that little guy. Well, little. Little is relative. So then... Well, I'm gonna go down there and grab that other trailer. I have no idea where it's gonna go yet. But I'm gonna go and get it anyway. I'm trying to remember. I think E used to stand for Berlin way back in the day. Which is kind of sort of funny because I and Berlin is just, I don't know. But way back in the long ago times. So here we have actually our big tractors sitting, and they gonna stay sitting down here. Our two Kirowitz 700, which I do not like that they... I do not like the fact that they are, that they have the same license plate. It bugs me. I might change that. This is why I usually run the license plate manager, because it will not allow you to do the same vehicle with the same license plate, so... Yeah. Neither here or there at the moment. I'm thinking we're probably gonna be doing some plowing here right away with the Kirowitz. Because we don't have any capability for vegetables. We're not gonna use mod... Oh, shoot. If you are wondering why the heck this thing is not going, it's because I forgot to hook up the airline. so as I was saying, we're probably gonna be doing some plowing here right away because we need to get rid of all the vegetable fields. I have not been able to find anything from that era for vegetables yet. Now keep in mind, vegetables weren't a thing until the Platinum Edition came out. So maybe eventually we'll see something. But for right now, that is not the case. Oh, you know what? It might just live here beside the garage. Or beside the... Yeah, not in the tree though. Leave the happy little tree alone. And I'm in the... Yeah, this is silly. There we go. Yeah, this thing, I don't know where we're gonna park it yet. Just because it's such a pain to hook it up. I guess might as well unhook the whole works. There we go. Yeah, now it's all split apart. Okay, let's have a look here at the fields and see what we can do here. The growth chart. I don't think there's anything ready for... Oh. The red beets would be ready for harvest. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to harvest. Sad beets. Hey, Anton. Welcome to the stream. Okay. That is curious. Yeah, I cannot find. I just had a quick look. I can positively not find any old school. Any old school. Vegetable harvesting machine. So I am thinking we're probably gonna use the B200. Oh, we have withered canola too, eh? Yeah. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, at 15, that's right. Alright, well... I am going to... Actually, this bugs me too much. I have to change something. For one thing, mistake that I made yesterday is when they were sold, the kilowatt is now as export models out of the USSR. They usually did not have the complete yellow paint job. What you seen most of the time, actually, was this combination in East Germany. As my research showed. So, that said, let's give them some different numbers. Yeah. And the big engine. And tire sound. That's number 1. And you could also get it, or seen it quite often, in this color. But with the white cap, they wouldn't have the complete... Now, the most interesting thing, I think, for me personally, I'm in northern Alberta, which is far away from the former Soviet Union. There is actually a kilowatt. In fact, if I think about it, I'll take a picture of it tomorrow. When we drive to Athabasca, on that highway, there is an old farm with a kilowatt standing in the field. Has been standing there for the last 14 years. That thing never moved. I have been so tempted many, many times to go to that farmer and ask him what he wants for it and bring it home here to my homestead, but I don't know. My wife might not 100% agree with my excitement about that. Ness might not be as excited as I am. Especially that thing has been sitting, well, as I said, for probably 13 years now. No idea. If I would even get it to run again. And how much money he want for it. That's the next question, right? By that being said, let's quickly change the license plate. There is no rhyme or reason. I'm just making stuff up here. And then we're gonna buy that one, and we have 2 wonderful machines ready to go. Oh yeah, right. We should maybe also get another... Did I get any medium tractors? Oh, I did so. I did so. Look, the XT3. That's a machine from the 80s. Pretty nice engine too. And then here the IMT. IMT is interesting because while that is one from former, well, in general from the former USSR, it had Mercedes engines. So this is really, yeah, it's a very interesting. The IMT tractors are pretty interesting. There's also on the large end of tractors, you have another IMT here, which has 360 horse in its base version, and if you go all the way up, it has 500 horse. But the interesting thing is, it's a I think it's a V12. Yeah, it's a V12 Mercedes. It's quite the monster, but if you look into the cab, it's as simple can be. Like, there is no switch, there is no no displays, no, yeah, it's basic. Of course, the Kirovitz is more basic, let's be honest, but... That being said, I think we got everything else. For the animals, I couldn't find anything. Forage wagons, I think. Oh yeah, I should download that one. Manure spreaders, we have definitely something here. We have one for the Tatra. And one for the Skoda. And we have also a couple of Fortschritt. Is it here? No, where is it? Fortschritt. The H... there. See, you have this one as a standard. And then you can have it as a fertilizer spreader. Or as a manure spreader. So that is really nice. I think we're gonna have it as fertilizers. Yeah, and then you can have it as a trailer too, as a quote-unquote normal trailer. I do think fertilizer spreader would make sense though. Now keep in mind, on this playthrough, we do not have any sort of GPS. We don't have any sort of guidance steering. What we do, or how accurate we do it, I should say, will determine how yeah, how accurate our field is gonna be. So, oh yeah, but like I said, we need some medium small tractor, I guess, on the high end. Where are you? It's all the Zetors. Look at this little guy. This is former military equipment made into farm equipment. This thing was supposed to pull missiles. Nuclear missiles. A nuclear missile tractor. Tire sound. Rotating beacon. Yes. Mud flaps. Yes. Equipment. Yeah, that works. And this one will be blood orange is what that color was called. Ew, that is the worst combination. That is not bad though. EFP05. Back. $140 horse. That's enough for the B200 plows. Excellent. With that, we have plenty of machinery to do all kinds of nonsense. Now we can actually do some field work. I love the fact that during the day, this field is completely inconspicuous. But at night, well, you've seen it. I don't have to tell you what happens at night. But yeah, I do have to say I'm quite excited about being on this map here for quite a while because, well, like I said, it's just, you know, with no GPS or any of the likes, it just adds a little bit more difficulty. I was contemplating, but then again, on a multiplayer server, maybe not the best thing to do, but I was contemplating briefly to even add the first-person camera only mod. That I will do for another playthrough. I don't know if that's going to be with the old machines though, because first-person cam only, that adds a whole nother level of difficulty, especially, and that's why I didn't do it in the end. If you don't have some sort of eye tracking, face tracking, whatever the case may be, yeah, it's a different animal altogether. Now, what's of course interesting here now with this is this is a Fortune B200 plow. That thing does not turn. So we have to really go old school on this. Meaning, well, you start your field somewhere in the middle, or while you break it up into different fields, really. I'll show you guys what I mean, and that makes it especially interesting when you try to plow. When you try to plow irregular shaped fields, that is adding a whole level of pain. So I'm probably... Is this the one? I think that's the one, isn't it? No, this is the one. So we're gonna go down here, down there, and then over there. Like, this is as old school gets. Unless you really want to go all out and use machines from the 50s. Although the Fortune tractors were built in the 50s as well. But they were built pretty much unchanged from the 50s to the 80s. And they were not only used in the GDR, they were also used in other parts of the socialistic empire, aka former USSR. Lewis, thank you very much for your Prime subscription. Muchly appreciated. Yeah, so I think we're gonna start here. It's not easy to figure out where the middle is, so we'll just have to work with what we got. This is really gonna be interesting. Starting to question life decisions here. And just a quick reminder, Prime subscriptions are, as the name says, included with your Amazon Prime. It's a benefit. And I'm not saying use it on me. I'm just saying keep that in mind. If you have a streamer that you really want to support and you don't want to spend any money and you have an Amazon Prime subscription, then use that Prime subscription for that streamer that you want to support. Again, by no means am I implying or suggesting to use that on me. Because there's other streamers that need or deserve us a lot more. My streaming is these days, I don't know, I don't even know if I deserve subscriptions anymore because it's rather erratic. Oh boy, this is different. This is very different. I can tell that I haven't plowed like this in a long time because the way I plowed this is, shall we say, sub-ideal. Yeah. Headland? What's Headland? See, technically, well, actually, yeah, we should plow this with Headland, but I don't know yet how we're gonna do this. This is, yeah, this is also a new experience. Well, not necessarily completely new, but it's an experience that I haven't had in a long time, so here we go. Again, no GPS. No VCA. What you see is what you get. This is as pure of plowing as you can do. No, server, no, don't do this to me. I am rather happy that I'm not digging up too many rocks so far. pretty much, if you want to do headlands realistically here, you have to pretty much stop here. And then you go back into it. And they're like, almost... Wow, on this field it's really not easy to do. Just because of the odd shape and whatnot. But we'll do our best with what we have. Yeah, it's a different animal if you can't twist or can't turn your plow. It is a very different animal. It's amazing how you get used, like even in a game environment, it's amazing to me how much you get used to all the little helpers that you have these days, like GPS and guidance and so on and so forth. But alas, that's not gonna happen this time. Which I think is, I don't know, it just adds a little bit more than just pressing a button. And don't get me wrong, I'm the first person to admit I love my guidance steering and my GPS and all that good stuff. But just going back to the basics every now and again, and especially with this playthrough and on the multiplayer server, I really wanted to do that. I wanted to go back to, well, as basic as you can go within reason. Makes you also appreciate a lot more what the farmers in days olden were able to do. Like I always remember fondly, this is of the few fond memories that I have of my former boss when I was a farmhand down south, is the fact that that man, he could, well, he was an old school farmer, right? He started in the mid-60s. And he could run the machines without GPS. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. He was good. He was a dink as a boss, for sure. But man, he knew his stuff. That much I give. I mean, credit where credit is due. He could drive circles around anybody that worked on that farm when it came to straight lines and knowing the machines. He was not very good with people. He was great with animals though, and machines. But people, not so much. But I guess we all have our strengths and weaknesses. really like the fact that this map has multi-angle surface textures. You can see that when a map has that, like you can see it here with the now with the textures as you go in, especially with plows. You can see here how the textures really follow how the plow goes through the ground, and that is only able if they have the extended texture pack. Or more ground angles, yeah, on the in their texture pack. It's not a standard feature of Farming Sim, unfortunately. I think it should be. Maybe it will be at some point in the new Farming Sim, whenever that comes out. But we'll see. Hey, Alex. Guten Abend, my friend. I have to get you into Farming Sim as well. I think after an initial period of 3 weeks of crying, you would start to enjoy it. Hey, Peridotty. Guten Abend. Guess it's time to turn on the lights. Not much Abend as it is Nacht. Yeah, well, you know. I mean, if you wait another 40 minutes, you can say Guten Morgen. At least for me. Huh. So, good news on the wildfire front. With all the snow that we got today, the wildfires that have been out of control are now all under control, or at least at being held status, which is nice. It's still insane to think that it is February and our wildfire season is in full swing already. But, yep, that's where we are. Tomorrow we're supposed to get another 8 to 9 centimeters of snow, so that will definitely help to get the rest under control. Brett, did you get any snow yet? But yeah, Peridotty. thank you for stopping by if you are still here. Oh, there's finally some rocks that are showing up. But since we don't use precision farming, since that is just not a thing for the era that we are in terms of gameplay, we don't have to worry about environmental score penalties, so I'm not concerned about plowing either. Uh-oh. Server, what are you doing? Oh, apparently I just lost connection. If you guys can still see me, yay, but it would appear that everything just went quiet. Hopefully we are back. Wow, that was a very, very weird error. Supposed to start around noon? Oh yeah. Ours is supposed to start. Let me see here. Let me see. It is supposed to start. From 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. roughly. The temperatures, though, man, it's gonna get cold. That's okay. I like it cold. That's a lie. Well, I don't mind cold. I would enjoy it more if it wasn't for the fact that I have, unfortunately, pretty poor circulation. Which is a problem when you work outside and your hands turn blue. And it's my hands mainly that's always the problem, to be honest with you. I have yet to find good gloves that will offer warmth for extended periods of time. So I'm one of those persons that will have, in really cold weather, I will run around with my mitts, and in the mitts I will have actually a hand warmer. In fact, I'm still back and forth, and I know I shouldn't, because in a dangerous goods environment it's questionable, but I'm still back and forth on getting a pair of electric heated gloves. As it were. So yeah, if you just joined back to the stream, I don't know what this was all about with the stupid outage there that we just experienced, but never a boring day, as they say. See, in a situation like this is where it really makes sense to have more than one tractor on the field, because the work is just so much quicker if you do it with 2 plows at the same time. Well, obviously, you have twice the capacity. That was silly. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. We go in the other way around for this. Sometimes. Now, realistically, I should have probably gotten the Kirovitz with the large plow and the cultivator attached. I did not realize how big this field actually is. It looked a lot smaller. Well, I anticipated it to be a lot smaller than what it actually is. This field size definitely would have been a field for the Kirovitz. Or Kirovets, as it were. Server, what are you doing to me? How in the world am I supposed to have a proper way of plowing here if you do this to me? Not halfway bad. I am still able to plow relatively straight lines. Look at that. Now, if I was on the interior view only, that might become a little bit of a different story. But you know what? Why not try? Just like that. Excuse me here for a second. I have to very quickly do this. Yeah. Do. So this was, this straight line here was third-person view. Now we're gonna try this whole thing first-person view and see how badly I mess up. In theory, or in real life, it's really not that difficult because you put your front wheel into the furrow and, well, your tractor, I mean, depending on how straight you were on the first go, but your tractor will just follow for the most part. Makes plowing one of the easiest jobs, really. Although, like I said, what I never really had any training in, and what was never really explained to me, especially with plowing, is headland management on oddly shaped fields, because all our fields were relatively square. Or round, as it were, because down south in southern Alberta, most of the agricultural that you see is pivot irrigation. And I worked on what was back then the largest alfalfa producer in Alberta. I mean, we had cattle too, but alfalfa was our bread and butter, as it were. So we didn't really do much plowing there per se. Most, like with the alfalfa, at the most you would cultivate. If it was an older field, I should say, because you leave them for quite a while before the field gets rotated. At least that's what we did on that farm. I know there's a couple of different thoughts about that as well. What's more sustainable and what's better, but you know what? I didn't own the farm. I was just a dumb worker. What do you guys prefer, first person or third person work? Like when you play yourself, if you play yourself. And what do you prefer to watch? I mean, I try to keep it about 50-50 because I know there are some that really enjoy first person. I personally, I like this This is as pure of farming experience as you can get without being on an actual farm, without any displays or HUDs. Just you, the machine, the work. Yeah, exactly. My immersion. I really wish that Farming Simulator had a better option for rearview mirrors. Like, that's where I sometimes wish, especially in first-person view, that you would have the option to adjust the mirrors like you can in ETS and ATS. And yes, there is... Well, there was a mod for that in FS19, which worked to a degree. I'm not aware that that mod was ever implemented or ever ported into was ever ported over to FS22. But then again, I'm not the authority on all mods FS22 either, so I might have just missed it. Hey, Gringoma. Yeah, no Spanish here either. Sorry. I can only do English. Hope you had a good stream and thank you for the raid. You're slaves. Interesting. This is gonna work or not. It might not. Yeah, that was too late. This was not ideal. Oh, that's okay. Definitely need to wash the tractor at one point. She's getting a little bit dirty. Just a little bit. Go. Now we're getting this middle part here done. Should have done that earlier, but didn't even think of it. Oh yeah, you can see here where I messed up. Like, totally messed up. But I should be able to get this situated here right away. Coming in like this. Yeah, I was still too far over. Maybe. Ah, well. Not ideal, but it'll work. We'll make it work. Brett, how's the cultivating going? Okay, we definitely have to turn in a little bit earlier here. Pretty much here is where I have to turn. Just to get this one little piece taken care of there. That should get me back on track, really. Jeez Louise, that is terrible. That is absolutely terrible here, this one piece. But we'll get her done. Get her done. Man, Larry the cable guy, was just thinking about that. He must be getting up there in age too. Yeah, you should have almost used the kilowatts with that one. I was thinking the same thing, but... especially with that big cultivator. I mean, that is not a joke, that thing. But like I said, I should have brought the other kilowatts too, and the big plow with the cultivator attached. This was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. But when it comes to seeding, Brett, we're gonna be implementing what I told you the other day. We're gonna start using green strips at the end of the field for the headlands. I have to show you that. It's not so much important for the cultivating, but once we got to seeding. You know what, I'm not even gonna worry about that part here for now. I'm gonna go and we're gonna split that last section into two. Right here. Actually, I should almost go the other way around, to be honest. This one that way and the other one this way. Aww. Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's what we're gonna do here. Yeah, that was brilliant. Excellent job there on my part. Not at all. See, but that's what I meant in the beginning. Well, for those of you that were here actually in the beginning, when I said you have to actually, with this kind of plowing, because we don't have plows that turn around, you have to essentially split your field into sections and subsections. I mean, you can that with turn plows, you can do that too, but with these plows here, it's really important that you do it, otherwise you would end up with a field that is rather rough to work on. And also, if you split it up in these little sections, then you have a lot less going over the headlands, which of course helps you with the ground compaction, or lack thereof. Unfortunately, once again, not simulated in Farming Sim, but... Well, we are plowing right now, so yeah, we don't care if we are driving over crops. Like, yeah, I'm plowing those crops under, so I really don't care. Yeah, of course it ruins them. But that's why you don't want to drive over headlands much. We don't have any harvest machinery that I could find that would be according to the period or region. So we're just not gonna use these crops. We're just gonna do oats and maybe potatoes, because I have period as well as area specific machinery for potatoes, but no beets and or vegetables. And with plowing, like I said before, you always put your... you always put your wheel into the furrow that you made beforehand. So yes, you drive... If you plow crops under, yes, you are driving on the crops, but again, you plow them under, so who gives a... Boy, there's actually quite a few rocks. Now, come on now. I'm gonna be finishing this field for sure. Alrighty, Perry. Oh, thanks for stopping by. Have an excellent day tomorrow, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, GT. How's it going? Oh, nice. Which one? Like the classic or Transom World? Man, this is getting pretty tight here with the turn. I should have done it different. Oh yeah, nice. Are you getting the new line? I forgot what it's called. Believe it or not. I guess I could just look back in my... Ah, Salzburg-Rosenheim. That's the one. Soon to be released. This is getting a little bit annoying. Stupid Steam. Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, if you want to play it to its fullest, there's certainly a certain learning curve involved, but I mean, really, what game doesn't have a learning curve? Except for maybe Farming Simulator Kids. By the way, if you are a parent and you want to get your kid hooked on the franchise Giants is releasing or has released a kids version of Farming Simulator. A very cute and simple game. So, ideal for your little ones. If you want to get them hooked. Mm-hmm. Unless, of course, you do it like many other parents that I know and have them going on the real farm, oh, on the quote-unquote normal farm sim from the get-go, but it's interesting. My daughter drove virtual tractor first, and then once we got our little John Deere, she had some knowledge already. Like, you know, she had at least a general idea of, okay, I turn the wheel this way, tractor goes that way. I turn the wheel this way, tractor goes that way. So it actually made it a little bit easier for her. Much to her mom's dismay, I let her run the tractor on her own. I mean, I still walk beside it because we have just a small little garden tractor, but or yacht tractor, I guess, is what they were sold as. Not to confuse with a normal ride-on mower, because a ride-on mower is that a yacht tractor actually has PTOs and can run different implements. Like ours, I have certain implements for that I run with it. I wish I had a front loader for it, but unfortunately they were never sold with front loaders. And I just do not have the machinery to build one on my own. I do have plans. Well, you know what's funny though? She likes running this thing herself. She always says it's the most relaxing thing, which I agree. That's why I play Farming Simulator, because there is not much more relaxing than running a tractor up and down the field. Now, granted, we have a very small field, and what I'm doing here is completely nonsense. I completely lost my way here. Let me rectify that situation. But yeah, it's too funny because... Well, she likes to run the ride-on mower too. We have that garden tractor and then we have a ride-on mower. Although this year we're not gonna do much mowing. That's what we got sheep for. Gonna be interesting here. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. This is too small. This is too small of a turn here. I can't do that possibly with my tractor here. So I have to do this, which in a real world application, that just shows you messed up. Because now you have to run over the field that you already plowed. Which is sub-ideal, to say the very least. Sometimes you just can't help it. Yes, sheep. Haired sheep though, because, well, we really don't want them for the wool. And haired sheep don't have to be short. No, you don't have to worry about shearing them. There, that should be it for that part. Well, not ideal, but the rest will get plowed, or will get situated once we come back with the cultivator. So I'm not too concerned about it. Now we have this last little bit over here that we have to take care of. That one might not be much fun though. That's only a small little piece. Those odd cheap fields though, man, they can wreck your day in a hurry. I'm not sure if this is gas or water. Oh, no, it's water. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That is water. Gas would be yellow. No, monkey, that won't happen anymore. Seasons have been a thing since FS9. No, wait a second. Don't let me get this wrong, because I think the Seasons was a mod in 19 and became a thing in 22. 23 is the one for mobile. Which is confusing, because up until 22 it used to be that The even numbers were the mobile versions, and odd numbers were PC and consoles, but that of course changed drastically when they skipped 21 and went on to Farming Sim 22. Which then of course kinda inverted the whole thing, because then 23 became the mobile version, and now, well, we're probably gonna continue that if I would have to guess. And what an amazing mod it was in FS19. It was so nice to see, to finally have seasons. Also, look who's lurking. Oh yeah, they have had mobile versions forever. Well, forever. What was the first one? Can't remember. Because I really don't care about the mobile version. But I'm pretty sure somebody here who has... knows it. Like, we have people here that live for the fact that they can be right, so I'll leave it up to them. Well, I do have to admit, when it comes to online games, oh sorry, mobile games, there's one game that I spent way too much time on. And that's Royal Match. Although, since I'm not trucking anymore, I don't have that much time for it anymore. Usually when I was waiting to get another load, I would spend quite a bit of time. No, Angry Birds, well, yeah, I played that a little bit, but I played that on Facebook. I never played it on phone. This is probably the worst part of this whole field. Angry Birds was fun though. Oh boy. Yeah, this tractor is almost too small for the size of plow, but it works. Pretty much have to go outside here, otherwise it's not gonna work. Has to be a better way to do this. The most, not the most ideal, but it'll work. It'll work. Yeah, you know what? Truth to be told, I remember when Candy Crush was, well, yeah, huge. Actually, that was when I was with Planes, and I do believe that was when I had my 5-year anniversary, and part of the 5-year anniversary package that you got was you had so many credits which you could use in the online store, and I bought tablets for Ness and I. Or, well, bought, quote unquote. I redeemed points to get tablets. 2 Tab 5s, I believe, were they? I think they were Tab 5s, yeah. Yeah, this is where my whole planning for this field is falling apart. And I don't care anymore about the headlands, because at this point... At one point you have to say realism be darned, we just have to get this done now. And that point is... now. Here. But yeah, I remember Ness and I, we were quite well, I played quite a bit good old Candy Crush. The thing that got me about Candy Crush was that very unique art style of the cutscenes in between. Like, the music was always a little... It's almost just the way they use the melody is almost unnerving. Is definitely unsettling, but the graphics overall, like, you know, in the cutscenes when this little girl and those, like, it's just, I don't know, it's unsettling in a way, I find. And I think it's by design. Yeah, next week is gonna be interesting because I don't think there's gonna be any videos happening. Unless I find tomorrow sometime. But with the disaster management course this weekend, I just did not have any time to record. So next week might not have any videos. Although, I'm kinda sorta hoping that I find some time tomorrow to get that done, but again, no guarantees. But the course was definitely worth it. All right. Well, we are most definitely done here. Time to drive home. The rest will get figured out with the cultivator after. tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. Interesting. All right. Right on. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the night. I'm just gonna park that here. I have to figure out where we're gonna put all the... I'm almost thinking we should put all the plows and whatnot into another spot here, not necessarily here, because I don't want all the machines clustered in one space. And the reason for that is fairly simple. You put a lot of strain on the server if you have all the machines in one place. Something to be mindful of. But that being said, we'll figure that one out tomorrow. For today, I say thank you everybody for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. And I will certainly be back tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday. And God bless.